Hi, I'm Alexandra Clark. I'm a senior here at Washington State University, and I'm studying broadcast news. What you're about to see is some of my best clips of me anchoring the Cable 8 newscasts. Thanks for watching, and enjoy. Coming up tonight on Cable 8 News, an update on the Pullman firefighter lawsuit.
Plus, a brave little girl who escapes a kidnapper.
And we'll look at the progress of the new residence hall on campus. Those stories and more tonight on Cable 8 News. Washington Transportation Department says a radar-triggered camera will begin taking pictures of speeders next Monday in a construction zone on I-5 near Centralia. A department spokeswoman says the automated camera is being used in an effort to slow drivers and improve safety. Travelers will see the signs that warn them of the camera, and a vehicle parked near the highway will monitor speeds in both directions. The camera will photograph the rear license plates of speeders who could receive a $137 citation in the mail.
Jake Mason was deemed unqualified to run for ASWSU president. Here to talk about judicial board decision as well as Mason and Demert's comments on the situation is Murrow News reporter Alexandra Clark.
Thanks, Danny. It's been a confusing campaign for Jake Mason and Harrison Dermott. Earlier this week, the judicial board made a vote 6-0 to 1 to disqualify Jake Mason from running for the campaign. Earlier today, I caught up with Brennea Bowman, the Chief Justice of the Judicial Board, to figure out the reasoning behind this vote.
I think that all of us, the board, we were kind of like really unanimous and kind of agreed on how we viewed the case. A lot of things that became important were a timeline. I mean, just the dates of when things were turned in and when grades were checked, and what grade read what on Zoosuus, was really important. So looking at the time frame as well as just the verbiage in some of the election codes. The words "to be elected" became very important, and it just was left up to the board to interpret that verbiage and kind of decide from here on out where candidates would have to fulfill those qualifications. So based on precedent, and that's what we kind of looked at, it was kind of like a unique situation looking at the write-in requirements after we kind of looked at the overall case. In the past, write-in candidates, their qualifications aren't confirmed until after the election. So after the 5th and 6th, when everyone actually votes, the morning after, I believe probably the following business day, is when Melinda Husky, the Dean of Students, would confirm his qualifications. So at that point, he would be a write-in candidate and we would follow protocol.
I'm joined now by Jake Mason and Harrison Demert. Jake, I think our question overall for you is, what would you tell students who were going to vote for you later this week?
Yeah, of course, Alex. So essentially what we'd like to do moving forward is make sure that Taylor and Kevin have 100% of the support of the student body, because that's what student government really is the voice of the students. And if our elected officials don't have our support moving forward, then it's going to make their job that much more tough.
And do you have any future plans to run for office? Do you feel like you have a leadership role in this upcoming next year?
Yeah, of course. I'd like to clarify one point really quickly, if I could. I am still qualified to run for ASWSU president, and just the ruling was that I wasn't qualified at the time due to some administrative issues that came up during my re-enrollment with WSU. And so Harrison and I made the decision jointly to stop the campaign at this point and just kind of focus on being students for the time being. So that being said, I do hopefully see a leadership role here at Washington State University. Right now I'm really involved with the Pre-Law Society and other organizations here on campus. So I definitely see myself continuing to be involved and continuing as a Coug.
And Harrison, can you tell us kind of your future plans going into a leadership role?
Yeah, definitely. Being on Senate really was an eye-opener, and I loved it. So I definitely look forward to continuing that in ASWSU. I'm not really sure where, but I for sure want to stay involved.
Now, with this campaign kind of being confusing and all the different things that have come up with this, what will you take away from this experience?
Oh, most definitely. It was by far one of the craziest, greatest experiences I've ever had, and thankful to Jake. I mean, I couldn't have done it without him, but really what I took away is that students want their voice heard, and in order to make that happen is you have to step up and reach out to each and every student. And with campaigning and doing that, it really made that possible.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it back to you guys at the desk. We have more breaking news tonight. The Idaho State Board of Education approved a new interim president for the University of Idaho during a special meeting today. It also granted the U of I permission to explore an invitation to move its football team into the Sun Belt Conference. And Sadie, I'm going to a WSU baseball game today. Am I going to be freezing the whole time?
I'm hoping we can expect some warmer weather. What can we see?
Yeah, although the clouds will stick around, we will be able to see the sun peeking through a little bit. I'll have some more details for you guys after the break.
A Des Moines man was arrested yesterday for the alleged rape of a Pullman teenager. Police say 36-year-old Walter Weeks allegedly developed a relationship with a 15-year-old girl over the internet. Weeks reportedly traveled to Pullman last weekend and shared a motel room with the juvenile and allegedly engaged in consensual sex. Detectives were able to track Weeks to his home in the Seattle area, where they also seized electronic equipment for further forensic investigation. WSU fraternities have been discouraged from serving hard liquor at their events. The Greek community signed a relationship agreement which includes buy your own beer, or BYOB. This says that people should provide their own alcohol and be responsible for their alcohol consumption. The agreement also states that fraternity members will not provide common source alcohol or provide to underage members. This new agreement does not include beer and wine. If you thought the ending to the Pullman State Championship game was exciting, take a look at this.
Edney tosses it, it's knocked around, and Mount Vernon's gonna hold on and win. Well, hold on 1 second, oh goodness! Are they gonna count that? No, it doesn't count! They're wiping it off!
The officials ended up counting the shot as it was released with 1/10 of a second remaining on the clock. It just comes to show that you can never count a team out until the buzzer sounds. Washington State will become home to a new national monument. President Barack Obama will create 5 new national monuments to preserve historic sites. One of the new sites will be in the San Juan Islands, and the new monument will spread over 1,000 acres. Supporters say the new monument will protect important cultural and historical land.
That's all the news we have for you tonight.
Tune in every weeknight at 7 and 10 o'clock. Have a great night.